Well, that's a good time to start. Alright, so I'm going to close my window as I believe we have neighbours out and about. Hopefully my stuff isn't too noisy. Hello and welcome to Deathwatch RPG, where the table may indeed be virtual, and in this case, that is very much the case. We are not even back today with something different. We are live today with Warzone Blackthrone. I'm afraid it's just me, just your old man Bob, sitting here playing with himself. And I hope you enjoy that. I've been playing with myself for many years, and will continue to play with myself for many years to come. And if that's not the best intro I've ever done, then I don't know what is. But you're probably wondering, what the fuck is Bob doing here? Well, I am recording and ready to upload. Let's check the stream so I can check that out. Okay, but the music doesn't come through quite so well on the stream, so that's not great. But we are basically here playing. I don't know how to get the music going, but I will live without. Actually, maybe it was, I just turned it down too much. Actually, I will double check, because everybody needs a little bit of music. A little bit of music in their life. Yeah, Sanctum, 40k inspired choir. Exactly what we need. So, I'm going to give myself a thumbs up, and that will tell me when the music is going. Alright, so the music is now going. Quickly turning that off. Quickly turning that off. Oh, it was definitely there. Turning that off. Oh, it was definitely there. Oh, it was definitely there. Testing. I think that might be too loud. Let's knock that down a little bit. Can never tell how loud things are. I suck at stuff. So let's do this, and then wave my hand. Wave my hand. Good. Okay, I am happy with that music level. You will be glad to know. But as has been said many times in life, it's not a Deathwatch RPG stream if everything's working. So I'm going to throw some
people will say, I don't believe in
adverts.
morality.
You're
but then if you present them with specific moral transgressions, suddenly you'll see
so we are
moral
live
outrage
with Warhammer
activate.
40k Blackthrone. Now some people know
Moral
what this
philosophy
is, some
has
people
long
don't
been
know what
concerned
this
with
is.
how people
Put
should
bluntly,
behave.
Blackthrone,
What moral principles
I have a
should
long-standing
we
history
live
of Games
by?
Workshop.
How should you
Not a
live
big
a
fan
good
of them as a
life?
company.
Whereas moral
Not a big
psychology
fan of
is
the way they
more
stole my
about
work on one
stepping
occasion,
back
but that's
and
the whole
looking at how
separate thing.
people actually
For a
behave in the
long period
world.
of time,
What is the true
I've
way that
not
people
been able
actually
to play
think about
40k.
right and wrong?
I simply
Moral
can't get
psychology
into it. I
can
love
tell us
the
a
lore,
great
I love
deal
the
about
models,
those
I love
questions.
pretty much everything about it,
Moral
except for the
judgments
way
are
it
rooted
has
at
gone.
least as much in our intuitions, our emotions, and our gut feelings as they are in...
Yes, thank you. For the way that things have gone. Ever since I find the rise of the Primarch and Guilliman and all of this, the writing in the lore is just terrible. Yeah, there's an ad playing in the background. Also, hey Paladin, you're right. Hey Jacob, oh, people are watching me. This feels wrong. People shouldn't be watching me. Go away. Surely you all have better things to do with your lives. And yes, the ad was playing. Like I say, if you need to find Jesus, I have an ad for that. But I've never been a big fan of the way Games Workshop have taken the direction of 40k, which of course led to what is now the Blackthrone campaign. The craziness that is the Blackthrone campaign. And I couldn't be happy with the way that's gone and my incredible players in the tabletop sessions. But all of that is to say that I, over the course of the last year, alongside my friend Joe and actually George and Jacob and my brother Frank and various people who have all been incredibly helpful in involving themselves with playtesting and rules writing, I have built and developed an entire edition of Warhammer 40k. And it is now at the point where I think it is certainly playable. I've been playtesting it for a very long time, and will continue to create it as a ongoing, living document. That's actually really... How do I get rid of this? Does that just go away? Chat settings, auto-hide chat, font size, just shoot. Don't need you. Go away, chat. I don't want it there. Because now I can actually see my screen. hopefully. As I said, a professional stream. It happens every so often. So, the idea and the plan is to live stream the games of the system as I play test it, as I run the system, and then hopefully, when God wills it and I'm able to find the time, you know, newborn baby, moving house, new job, 4 campaigns a week, when I'm not, you know, prematurely aging and having minor anxiety attacks, I intend to upload them and turn them into full, what's the word, animated sort of shorts, you know, like narrative shorts is the plan. Oh, for goodness sake, I'm going to have to ban this guy. So, someone from the server, another ad trying to make my way downtown, trying to sell stuff to me, which, if anyone knows anything, is not allowed in Deathwatch. You can't show up and start selling your wares, I'm afraid. So, yeah, this is Warzone Blackthrone. I'm going to do my best to explain things as they go. I'm also speaking to future Bob, who is inevitably, the poor bastard is out there having to rewatch this and turn it into an animated sort of scene, movie. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do it, but I will figure that one out. So, this is a 2,000 point game of Blackthrone. On the Imperial side, actually let's do the Orks first. On the attackers side, we have 2,000 points of Orks, led by war boss Chiptooth. This is set during the height of the Second Imperial Civil War. A hive city has come under attack from an Ork war, capitalising on the vulnerabilities left behind by the Imperial Redemptionists and the Imperial Banes. But as those two forces have pulled out, both have left the Deathwatch to counter the advance of Warboss Chiptooth. Now, Warboss Chiptooth comes in armed and armoured on a Warboss on Maw-Crusher. He is armed with a Power Claw, a Shooter, Mega Armour, and due to being mounted, he has additional rules such as Toughness 8, Hammer of Wrath, and he has the Too Dumb to Care special trait. I realise now I have not actually given him a Warlord trait. I will very sneakily do that in the background while no one is looking. Backing up Warboss Chiptooth are his boys. He is rocking into tonight's game with 3 units of 20 Ork boys, all armed with sluggers and choppers, 2 units of 20 Ork boys with shooters, and 4 big shooters in each squad. That's our troop choices. Blackthrone works via detachments, similar to how you may find Heresy 2nd edition, but with a much more in-depth manner. So you have your primary detachments, and then you have specialist detachments that you have to take characters to unlock. Everything in the list here for Warboss Chiptooth is a primary detachment. He does not have any secondary detachments. Inside secondary detachment, into his elite choices, we have a unit of Ork Knobs, all of whom are armed with kill saws, as well as a unit of Rockgut Troggoths, who are just bare bones. I believe one of them has a heavy hammer. And then, last but not least, we have a unit of Tank Busters, one of whom is armed with a tank hammer. Following up from this, we have 2 heavy support choices in the forms of Ork Wagons. Ork vehicles in this edition are not like standard. You can't like take just flat stuff like, oh, that's a death track, that's a truck. Actually, truck's a bad example, you can take trucks. But basically you get custom build your own. Apologies, I'm still having heart issues. And every now and then God likes to remind me that I'm mortal. But until I'm struck by lightning, it's still 1-1. That's a very, very in-depth joke about some near-death experiences I've had for those who want it. But basically, battle wagons are not battle wagons. These are Ork wagons. They are the heavy support choice that has the most options and available. They have been kitted out and upgraded with the cargo bay trait, which gives them the transport capacity of 25, and in addition they have the 2 tank crackers, which are cannons that are designed to punch open enemy vehicles. Now, one of the biggest parts of Warzone Blackthrone, this edition of the game, is the Edict deck. The Edict deck is a custom deck of cards that you build. Every faction has access to specialist cards and generic cards, as well as the faction cards. Edicts are determined by your faction, by what you do. Your warlord's expertise determines how many cards you can draw and how many you can play, and if you ever run out of cards, you suffer severe negatives. In this case, our war boss is our warlord, meaning he only has an expertise of 1, which means he can only draw 1 card a turn. Orks, not known for their strategy. Indeed, they're so bad at their strategy, their whole thing is not having edict cards in play. So I'm going to quickly just search up the war boss traits here on my document. We have options from the generic warlord traits, but we also have the Prophet of the War, which is in the same turn a war is called. All units gain Fearless and may reroll Feel No Pain rolls. Cunning but Brutal gains +1 to his initiative characteristic, and when he becomes pinned, he may instead declare a charge and gains 2 extra attacks on the turn he does so. But most importantly, while he has no edicts in his hand, the warlord and his unit gain +1 ballistic skill. And then of course there's Brutal but Cunning, which a warlord with this special rule gains the Exemplar trait and +1 weapon skill while not at its starting hit points. Exemplar is a debuffed version of Eternal Warrior, where you cannot be insta-killed but you instead take D3 mortal wounds. Mortal wounds aren't a thing, D3 wounds for every failed save. I am going to rock in with Brutal and Cunning because I'm not going to be overly reliant on the War in this game. Instead, I think it would be wiser to try and just stay alive as long as possible and to rock in with that higher weapon skill. Well, it was nice having people in chat briefly. They are now gone. I wish them the best luck. With their best life. So, that is the Ork list. Rocking in on the other side of the table, significantly outnumbered, as any Space Marine list should be, unless they're fighting Grey Knights or Custodes, is Kill Team, I think I called it Silent Verdict. This is a Deathwatch strike force that is led by Captain Acastian Voss, who is a Space Marine captain in Phobos armor, upgraded to be Actually, no, I didn't even pay. Yeah, who said we were gone? Yeah, we're just, you're just stalking. Where's the engagement? No, I am joking. It's because I've got a little counter that says how many people are watching, and it goes to 0 sometimes, and I'm left here with my own thoughts, and that's when the bad things happen. So he is in Phobos armor. Now, I am running a Rite of War. Rites of War are ways to design your army. They will be very familiar to those who are in the 30k scene. They essentially give you ways that you can buff your army, ways that you nerf your army. So I am running what is called the Long Vigil Rite of War. Deathwatch are not their own army in Blackthrone. All Space Marines kind of come under the same banner with lots of different traits and customization. Instead, Deathwatch are mostly represented through this Rite of War. Because I have a captain, I can run the Rite of War, which means that I lose my Adeptus Astartes trait across the board. Now, technically these guys are White Scars, but the only person who benefits from that is my Warlord, who gains the Warlord trait Patient Hunter, which means that if... Hey, Novo! Patient Hunter, we're playing Tabletop Blackthrone, not RP tonight, I'm very sorry. And this may be several streams over the course of several days. Katie's currently asleep, doing her Progogonon thing, so when she's awake I will spend the evening with her. But basically, our Warlord is a Watch Captain of the Deathwatch, who is a White Scar. When he does not move during his turn, he gains Precision Shots 4 up, allowing him to snipe enemy characters, though he is armed with a gun that has that anyway. Stealth 2, which means he increases his cover save from all terrain by 2, and he gains Twin Linked on his weapons. Good to see you too, Novo. Now, the Long Vigil Rite of War does several things for a Space Marine army. It allows Deathwatch kill teams to be taken as troop choices, and all units in it may specify what their purpose is. My Warlord here has paid 15 points to be a Venator, which means he rerolls to wound rolls against HQ choices. So he's going to be sitting at the far back of the map trying to pop that Warlord. He has come in with a command squad in Phobos armor. His command squad are all armed with Nemesis pattern bolt guns, the equivalent of a Stalker bolt gun in 40k. They are also all Venators, meaning they reroll to wound rolls against HQ choices. We then have Lieutenant Marius Draken of the Salamanders, who is pretty much WYSIWYG, except that is a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, not a big spear. He is in Artificer Tacticus armor. Every Space Marine in the game can choose what armor they are wearing. They gain a different buff depending on what armor they have. The buff that the Primaris armors give, outside of toughness and stealth, is they get to add extra activation dice to the back. He is running in with a Tacticus armor, Storm Shield, Thunderhammer, and he and his unit are both of the Domarus, which means they will be re-rolling to wound rolls against elite choices. Pardon me. As you can see, I'm staying very well hydrated. He is running in a unit of Blade Guard veterans. There is a 5-man squad, all of whom are in Artificer Tacticus armor, 2 wound powerhouses. One of them has a power fist, 2 of them have power axes, and then 2 of them have twin lightning claws. And again, they've been upgraded to be Domarus in an attempt to try and take out those Ork knobs and other elite units. Our troop choices are filled by 2, I believe identical Deathwatch kill teams. Kill Team Alpha, Kill Team Bravo. Also known as Night Spear and, what do they call the other one? Black Talon. They are armed, they are all in... Deathwatch kill teams are a specialist choice. They are 200 points, they gain a bunch of extra buffs like Preferred Enemy Xenos, Hatred Xenos, Special Issue Ammunition, all that good stuff. I will be referring to rules a heck of a lot during this game. But they are basically all in Artificer Mark 9 armor. So they all have a 2-up armor save, a 6-up invulnerable save, and they will be choosing their own special objectives. Backing them up are honoured brother Gaius and honoured brother, where is he, Castor, the Iron Judgment Dreadnought Talon. One, as they are completely WYSIWYG, close combat weapon, Storm Bolter, Assault Cannon, Plasma Cannon. And they are also backed up by someone who's not here. Where is the Predator tank? Have I fucked up? One moment. To be fair, I didn't get to make these models. I wish I could, but I did not make these models. These are courtesy of Force Org. I have indeed fucked up. One moment. Override. I need to just, don't mind me, I'm just gonna sneak over here and grab myself a Predator battle tank. Yeah. I was interested to see how this game goes. By Space Marine lists, Space Marine lists, this is a very elite army versus a pretty chunky. I did grab a tank. Right, they are rocking in with the Vigil Unending, which is my only heavy support choice, which is a turret mount. Again, shit tons of customization, and tanks in Blackthrone. Predators can be armed with all sorts, from rotor cannons to graviton imploders and etc. But I have simply gone cheap and cheerful with a twin las cannon turret and heavy bolters. Now, both armies have their edict cards ready to go. Normally you would hide your edict cards from your opponent, but in this game, obviously, despite my best efforts, I can't lie to myself. What the fuck is this? It's my game crashing. It is what it is. I wonder if I can get it to come back. Oh, it has fully crashed. Excellent. Great start. As you can tell, a professional streamer. So, just go while I get the game reloading. Oh yeah, now you can see all the filthy everything that's hidden under the screen. Oh no, it's dirty. It's terrible. What you can see underneath the screen. I do need that window open. I apologise to my neighbours, but it is too damn hot. Overwatch, Deathwatch. So, you have two types of card decks in Blackthrone. Outside of your standard mission objectives, we're just doing hold ground for this one for the sake of sanity. You have the Vendetta deck, which is your secondary objectives, a custom deck of 8 Vendetta cards. There are generic ones, and then every faction has their own Vendettas. Both the Orks and the Space Marines here are running custom Vendettas. And then of course you have your Edict deck, which is a deck of 15 cards that can buff or hinder your enemy and yourself. But on top of that you also have a number of cards called Know Thy Enemy cards, which are taken from your opponent's deck to directly counter them. As and when they come up, I will talk about them. Like I say, normally you would hide your Edict cards from your opponent, because you reveal them at certain points during the game. You reveal X card, but obviously there's not much point in me hiding things from myself. So we are back. Let's get that Predator tank in. Bob's Army, Predator Annihilator. There he is, right. So like I was saying, we have the Predator tank Vigil Unending, who is rocking in as well. Those are our armies. So we have rolled off to deploy first, go first. So 1 and a 6 for the Orks. I think in this instance, were I the Orc player, I would choose to deploy second and to get the second activation, because seeing where my opponent would deploy would be so much more valuable. So the Orcs are going to play the patient game and hand over deployment to the Deathwatch, who then deploy their entire army. On the board we have 5 objectives, which I've placed before the game. We have a unit of civilians over here. The Deathwatch won the roll off to deploy the extra objective. A strategic value absolute. It's worth remembering, of course, that in Blackthrone you can destroy objectives, which is a very big part of the game. Demons thrive off of destroying objectives. And then in the centre we have some more civilian VIPs, so you need to hold 3 inches of those to hold the objectives. So let's kick off with the Deathwatch. Being a command squad, they technically have a company banner in there somewhere, so they can hold an objective with their line. I would have to check what a company banner. I believe it gives you line 1, or at least line 1 or line 2. But that's because I want to free up my objectives. Let's go here. Warzone Blackthrone. It is a hard thing to remember all of my rules of everything I've ever written. Because I know that the Deathwatch game buffs as well. So let's quickly go to chapter standard. I spelled that so horrifically. Give it 2 seconds. Because Captain Acassian Voss has already fallen to his death. What an excellent start. Chapter standard, there we go, there's 9 references to it in the document, because various people can take it. Chapter standard grants line 2 and stubborn. So, objectives good. So they will be holding an objective with line 2. I think I want them to be as far away from the enemy as humanly possible and just to not move. So they are going to stay on this objective here and just try and rack up victory points for the entire game where possible. I will actually lock them in place for that purpose. You can see that clearly this was an Imperial Bane aligned kill team with the amount of Imperial Fists in there. But there is an Ultramarine and a White Scar who are known redemptionist factions, but maybe they are traitors to their own cause. So we're going to lock those in there, so they're going to hold that objective. My next layer of objectives secured would be the Blade Guard veterans. I think I'm going to want them moving up. But first and foremost, I'm going to actually claim Kill Team Bravo, who are going to deployed down here. Now, if I remember correctly, trying not to break my PDF there. Deathwatch kill teams have a number of special rules that interact. They're basically your super customizable, pick your own faction game. So they have bound by more than blood at the start of each game turn. Any unit of that special rule can declare one chapter of Astartes X and they all gain it, which means I'm going to have to load that on. Oh, wife is awake. She has risen. Which basically means any chapter of Astartes X special rule I can now pick from for my traits. I get the feeling I'm going to want something long range. I spy a Dark Angel. Indeed, there is a Dark Angel in there. There's a few, but there is indeed a Dark Angel at the back there. So definitely a Imperial Bane kill team there. No other Dark Angels, it would seem. Oh no, there was one over here. So for example, I might pick the Ultramarines, which gives any unit with objective secured gains line 1. Not particularly helpful, but might use me up. Could be Arisen. But yes, basically massive versatility for the for the Deathwatch here. Could make them Black Dragons, for example, giving them all bonuses to hitting enemies. Could even make them Grey Knights, but there would be much point. Death from above from the Raptors might come in handy though, actually. I might declare that one. Death from above is a special rule where you, as long as you're at a higher elevation than your enemy, you gain benefits when shooting them, or charging them. So each death kill team can choose what it is on the board to do. It can defy the Insidious to kill an ally, select an allied independent character. If both that character and the kill team survive, you gain D3 victory points. I am going to do that on specifically Kill Team Alpha. So I'm going to write this down here. So Kill Team Alpha, defy the Insidious. If Phobos Captain survives and Alpha D3 VP. You never know, it could make all the difference. So that's what Kill Team Alpha is going to do, which does hinder their objective scoring. So it's the third day and wifey is risen in indeed. And then I think what I would do is Strategic Value Absolute, aptly named, which is select one objective on the battlefield. Any model from the kill team is on it. They gain line 1 or line +1 and a 5-up Feel No Pain. So these guys are going to declare this as Strategic Value Absolute to them. For the sake of, I'm going to try and get on that objective and hold it like there is no tomorrow. There we go, so that's what they're going to do. Let us then look at what's next. So Kill Team Alpha I want to keep alive, and they want to keep my Warlord alive. They have objectives secured, which means they can hold objectives, but they do not have line. And line is a very, very powerful rule. Line adds to your VP every time you score it. So I'm actually going to grab the Blade Guard veterans who want to be in melee, and I'm going to hold them back initially, because if I can rack up some victory points from them holding this objective, due to having a company standard, they have line 2. So we're going to keep them on this objective in a hope that I can rack up some points. Which does mean I'm going to need, at least with the levels, I can fuck with the Orks a little bit. Let's have Kill Team Alpha right at the front. I don't think I'm going to be able to score that objective, if I'm honest. I think it's a push. If I go for it, I'm meeting the Orks in the middle. I would force them onto me at least. But I need Kill Team Alpha to survive, so I think I am going to keep Kill Team Alpha on the deployment line, ready to pull back the moment things get rough. In both kill teams, they are all armed with Deathwatch Special Issue war gear, with the bolters, which gives them loads of options, but each kill team also has a Deathwatch frag cannon, which is a very powerful rapid fire blast weapon, which I'm hoping will do good things to up to and including my bottom. I will be 2 seconds. I'm going to go say hi to my wife. and make sure she is a-okay. We will be right back. I have no screen to send you to, so... Goodbye. Goodbye, I'll be 2 seconds. Right. I know you were waiting desperately upon my return, dear viewers. Wifey is well. She is well. Just gonna change the music. I'm a bit 40k music out. Let's just slap on some Alone Time with God.
This is your brain.
No, of course. This is the ad. Is what we. It's the third day. We look at the pretty models and terranery. That's true. It is pretty. It took me a while to make this map. I wanted something with levels to make it more. To give the Deathwatch a chance. So where was I? They have deployed there. We are then going. There we go. to deploy our dreadnoughts. Now the dreadnoughts are a talon, which means they have to act together. They are essentially a unit, which is a fun little thing with dreadnoughts. Castophone dreadnought, talon, yeah, literally they have to act together, which is one of the downsides to running them as a squad, but it does mean they get a little bit of synergy. I'm going to deploy them a little bit back because I want to force the orcs to come to me. And then lastly, the predator, the unending vigil. Now I've got to be very careful with how I deploy this fellow as he sits on one of the lighting effects, because obviously going through terrain can really mess up vehicles in this system. I'm actually going to deploy the dreadnoughts up, I think. The more I can force the enemy into changing altitude and such, the more it benefits me. But the predator can't do that, so the predator... My god! Cue the Baby Driver theme music. Bow, 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 bow. Where's he gone? Oh my god. He's going to go and deploy down here. The idea of a predator like breakneck speed on terrain does make me very happy. Talking of things that make me very happy. Hey wife!
I've got a tablet game for you to get. It's,
I am in desperate need of a new tablet
like
game.
Game of Thrones Dragonstone.
Oh yeah.
To raise an army with dragons.
It's going to take a lot to beat Heresy Legions. Oh, the Predator. You could run a Gladiator if needed. So that is the Deathwatch army deployed. So now we will deploy the Orks. The 2 squads of 20 Orc boys are going to go into the battle wagons, and 1 squad... What? Oh, can I have it? I'm fucking burning over here. Have you noticed something I noticed today, honey? I got home, I took my shirt off. Got to keep it PG for the viewers. I am tanned. I've legitimately got tan lines. It's because I've been walking to and from work, and you know I'm just naturally sexy.
But near a window at all, or in the
yeah, can't. Well, I'm like I say, our classroom's a greenhouse.
Yeah, you need sun cream.
Yeah, I probably do at this point.
Oh, that's not bad.
Is it good?
That's number 1.
So they will deploy like that. Orcs, only certain units in Blackthrone can score objectives. They have to have what's called the objective secured special rule.
Oh my god.
Is it? Katie's fan is incredible. So I'm going to grab this unit of 20 Orc boys and start them on this objective, where they will hold it for as long as they can. Probably takes this unit out of the game a little bit because they don't have the range, but it does mean they will just slowly rack up points for the Orcs. It's worth mentioning as well, Orcs massively outnumber. Mildly burnt on a 45-minute home last week would be similar. Oh, it's horrible, mate. Like, I mean, I don't actually tan, I bleach. Somehow I get whiter. Like, it's grim. So yeah, so Orcs can hold objectives, but they're not very good at it. Their whole thing very much is overwhelming their enemy. It's also worth mentioning that of all of the armies in 40k, Orcs probably, or in Blackthrone 40k, Orcs probably hands down have the worst saving throw in the game. Demons get an invulnerable save of a 5-up, which means they just get a 5-up against everything, which is decent. But the Orcs get a 6-up save that's negated by almost every weapon in the game, bar maybe lasguns, and a 5-up feel no pain. The Orcs' big thing is the fact that they have a high toughness characteristic. But the design philosophy with Orcs was that you should be essentially playing the Middle-earth strategy battle game, where if you get wounded, you die. There's no such thing as a saving throw. That was the philosophy to Orcs. These Orc boys are going to vibe over here. Obviously they're not actually going to start on the objective because they need to move on to it. Now, normally with Orcs I would be considering destroying the objectives, but I think in this case it's actually worth keeping them for the sake of the fact that I don't think the Deathwatch forces are going to be able to come out and meet the Orcs. There's just not enough of them. So these orcs are... Why am I deploying them here? They can't go there. These orcs are in a position where they can just sit here and hold. Obviously it's a waste of a lot of points, but racking up victory points is always a good idea in Blackthrone, because you never know when it's going to turn. Every game I've played of this system, especially with my mate Joe for example, every game I have played has been tight, has been incredibly tense. Speaking of, I should message Joe, tell him that we're live. Incredibly tight. So yeah, this game can turn on a dime. It really can. Let's lock all that in place so that we don't remove it later down the line. There's the locking as well. Also, it is nice having people chat. Like, I should do this more often. A little bit of nice music, calm, relaxed. It's chill. It's nice. Speaking of calm, chill, relaxed, a War Boss on Mega Crusher. Now, the problem with this, of course, is that this can't fit up here. However, rules on terrain are a little funky in Blackthrone. He will just be constantly under the effects of the terrain rule. Bases need to be able to fit. Failing that, he can attack if he gets into base contact with the terrain. So he is a big and dangerous threat. I think, though, what he would do is probably go towards Kill Team Bravo and try and counter over there. So he's actually going to be moving through the pipe stacks. He could destroy the terrain if I wanted to. Again, terrain, very much a destroyable thing in Blackthrone. Whoa! Oh yes. Very much a destroyable thing in Blackthrone. If I wanted to, I could fire some cannons through here, completely clear out the centre. But I think it's actually to the Orcs' favour to not do so. Because of course they want to benefit from those cover saves. They're in the trucks. Let's have the rock guts going up this flank. Go deal with those dreadnoughts, I reckon. Do their thing. Answer the question I was going to ask. The train is deployable. Makes sense to you? Yeah, absolutely. So please ask me questions, Novo. One of the reasons I'm doing these live streams is I've written this system from the ground up. There's always things to fix, basically. So please spam me with questions, because anything I can't answer, I will do so. Terrain, all terrain has statistics. All terrain can be destroyed. Some armies absolutely thrive on destroying terrain. Demons, for example, gain victory points when they destroy objectives. There are 6 different types of objectives: Fallen Brothers, Civilian VIPs, etc, etc. One of them is terrain piece, where you just pick a piece of terrain that's on the board. That becomes an objective. I'd like to stress Blackthrone did it first, and then 11th edition 40k came along and did it as well. I'd also like to stress they've been known to nick my rules in the past. I'm onto them. If 12th edition 40k comes out and they have an edict system and they have activation dice, Andy Hoare, I'm watching you. I will never forgive the Alexandria incident. Never forget, never forgive. Orcs with kill saws. I think straight up the middle, backing up their war boss. So they're going to deploy over here. The Orc knobs do have objective secured, which is very handy. But of course you kind of want them in the middle of the fray, not actually sat on an objective. I do envision having some sort of fog of war, so the first deployment is a lot more chaotic. It's an interesting concept. Deployment is a little funky at the moment in Blackthrone, because obviously we don't have a you go, I go system, we have an activation dice system. I like the way it works at the moment, where you fully deploy one army, you counter deploy, but whoever deploys first gets that first activation no matter what. Can be very big. I'm not against the idea of fog of war. I think that could be really interesting. I know that there's a system for gene stealer cults where you have blip markers and you have to like write down what each blip is. I'm very much planning on stealing that when I write the gene stealer cult rules, or more accurately Imperial Guard rules of gene stealer cult add-ons. I wouldn't be against envisioning a version of the system where you deploy elite, troop, and you don't tell people what they are, and you write down like, okay, so that troop is my Orc boys, that troop is my, blah blah blah. It's something to play around with. It's an interesting idea. Let me grab a Word document, because that could be quite an interesting idea of that could be an interesting way of running it, of having your okay, so I've placed down a unit of troops here, but you don't actually know what your opponent has placed down. Obviously that opens it up to a lot of dodginess in regards to people being honest, but Blackthrone already is a system that has a strong honesty value to it. Tank busters are going to go centerfold to go and just absolutely yeet themselves at that predator. For now I'm going to keep it the way it is, simply because when I'm playing with myself, as I know Novo enjoys watching me play with myself, there's not much point hiding units and stuff. I'm going to not bother hiding edict cards and stuff like that either. So, last unit to deploy is the last unit of shooters, who are simply going to deploy. I think I want them moving forwards aggressively. So let's have them up. Ooh, dreadnoughts are scary. Dreadnoughts are scary, but if they could come and compete that objective. Warboss and Knobs are going for that one. Yeah, they're going to go up here. But yeah, it's an interesting idea. It would be a hard one to implement, but not impossible. But I think I prefer it as a army gimmick for something like the Genius of the Cults, because it makes them really unique, where you're just like, they're coming out of the fucking walls, I have a lot of the rules for different armies already written. For example, Tyranids are already written, Demons I've just finished. A lot of what I need to do is just getting them on Word and getting the PDFs made. But all of the Space Marine chapters now have rules with 2 successors for each of the main chapters, in addition to all the other rules. Tyranids have their rules, Custodies have their rules, Knights, I have the immediate concepts for their rules done, as well as a few others as well. Tyranids is the big one that I've nearly finished. Literally Endless Tide. The idea of Tyranids is that you gain buffs as an army, you select your buffs, and then every time a unit dies, you roll a dice. If it's Homogaunt, it's a 3-up. If it's a Carnifex, it's a 6-up. That unit then goes back into reserve, so it's just literally an endless tide of units. And every time you bring a unit back in, you can choose another rule to give it. So say you gain no rules to start, and you charge an enemy, and you die, and your Carnifex comes back. That's not your Carnifex coming back, it's another brood that the Hive Line has dispatched. And now they've all got the Sunder rule to cut through armour because you're fighting tanks. The idea is to have, by the time you're at the end of the game with Tyranids, you're fighting an army that has evolved to fight you, is the idea. I have been offering games to all of the lads pretty consistently. No one's taken me up on it yet, but time is a bitch. I don't think anyone's against playing it. I think people just, it's busy. I'm sat here playing with myself, but I'm also going to go and spend the evening with Katie in a bit and come back to this. It's hard to do that when you're playing with other people. Still, that is both sides deployed. So at the... Yeah, exactly, that's the idea. Nids are just this, they're easy to kill, but they keep fucking coming back, and every time they do, they become more tailored to against your list. And there's just fucking shit tons of them. So, first things we do at the beginning of game turn 1 is we draw our Edict assets. Our Orc draws 1 because of his expertise statistic of 1. There's no point hiding it, though normally you would keep it face down like this. The Orc has drawn Zogda, which you reveal at the start of an activation phase. It cannot be the same phase that you drew it, it has to settle for a turn, and then at the start of turn 2 it will activate. Discard any number of Edict cards from your hand, add 1 activation die to the shared pool for each card discarded this way. So basically you're trying to give the Orcs more turns in the turn. And then the Space Marines have drawn Let Them Come. When an enemy unit declares a charge, the friendly unit resolves it, you have 4 ballistic skill. I'm actually not going to place that yet. I'm going to keep that in my hand, because we're not going to get any turn 1 charges, I suspect. However, we have drawn Orbital Bombardment, which is revealed when an friendly unit is selected to shoot. Instead of shooting normally, resolve the following attack. I will definitely be playing that turn 2. Or actually, do you want to place this now? Yes, I will place both now, because turn 2 there probably will be some charges. And then, at the beginning of the game, we draw our vendettas. So the Space Marines draw 2 vendettas, and then search their deck for one that you then pick. Codex Warfare. At the end of your turn, complete 3 different actions. Tricky. I don't really want to advance with anyone right now. Actually, no, I think I might. Kill Team Alpha may advance. Okay, so that's not a terrible idea. They shall know no fear. Complete if no one failed a leadership check. Pretty easy for turn 1. Hold the line. No enemies in your deployment. Yeah, I think I'll take hold the line because that's an early big boost of victory points. So we've got hold the line, and then what do we draw? By Bolt and Blade, complete. Oh, that's rough. Destroys an enemy unit that is charged this turn, provided the enemy unit has already lost model. So basically, shoot a unit and do wounds, and then charge it and kill it. That's going to be really tricky turn 1. Probably not going to score that. And against all odds, complete after outnumbered 3-1. Okay, so these are both good for like turn 2 and 3. The way edicts work, you can either hide them from your opponent, and your opponent doesn't get to know what you're trying to do, in which case when you score it, you only gain the hidden victory points, 2 in this case for hold the line. However, if instead you choose to tell your opponent what you're trying to do and reveal your vendetta, you gain buffed amounts of victory points, but of course your opponent can try and negate you. In this instance, obviously I can't lie to myself, again, no matter how much I try, so I am just considering all edicts, all vendettas revealed. So for the Orks, we draw 2 and search for another. Bigger they are! Destroys an enemy vehicle or monstrous unit, maybe not yet. Break their line at the end of your turn. More units in the enemy's deployment. Live in the dream. These ones are generic, by the way. The ones that are this beige, this picture are generic. These are the Orc specifics. Live in the dream. A friendly unit destroys an enemy unit during the same game turn that the war was declared. I am not declaring a war this turn. Secure the field. At the end of your game turn, secure the objective. You hold more objectives than any other player. Not likely for the Orcs in this first turn, so I'm not going to pick that. A good scrap. Have 3 or more units in the same combat. And hold the line. No enemy units in my deployment. I think I will take that turn 1 as well for the early boost. So let's see what the other 2 were. Tactical synergy. 1 unit advance, 1 unit charge, 1 unit shoot, and destroy an enemy unit. That's going to be extremely difficult to do, but we will give it a go. And they can't kill us all. Complete a vendetta if you outnumber your enemy by at least 2-1 on an objective marker. So the Orcs have rough secondaries, but that is kind of fitting. That is what the Space Marines are all about. What was that noise? Oh, it was... That noise was Psalm 91:7-8. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Hello and welcome to Tattletales RPG, brought to you by the Bible. Alright. Let's kick this shit show off. On the board, this is one of the biggest factors of Warzone Blackthrone, is the activation dice. The Space Marines have on the board no one in reserve. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Though actually, those Castroferums are a single unit, so 6 units. So we get 6 activation dice. However, we have Phobos armor and Tacticus armor, which add an additional dice each to the bag, because that's the buff you get for being Primaris. So they are all going to go in the bag. The Orks, where the Bible may be virtual, but the quotes fit Warhammer. They really do. They really do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the Tank Busters units on the board. Alright, Right, I'm going to take one of the Deathwatch dice out because they automatically get turn 1. Alright, that is all the activation dice in. Let's shuffle that up. And the first activation dice is drawn into turn 1 of this game. So, first activation for the Deathwatch. I am tempted to run and sprint onto here. However, I am well aware of the actual counter charge that may happen. That Maw Crusher only has a move of 5 inches, but by God, if he gets close, it's going to hurt. So instead, I think I need to try and hedge my bets. In my activation, I can move and shoot. Bolters have a 30-inch range, which means my Blade Guard veterans are in range to shoot. Ooh, is it just out of range? Okay, my Blade Guard veterans are going to move then, which means they need to move through cover. Move through cover is very simple. You roll a dice, roll equal to or under your highest initiative, 3 out of 5, very good. Had I failed, I would have halved my movement. So 7-inch move. Are they locked in place? Did I lock them in place? Oh, damn it, Bob. So let's do that. Excuse me, sir. You are locked in place still. There we go. And we're going to hop him just to the edge of the zone here. Nothing too crazy. Just enough that they can now shoot this squad quite comfortably. But I'm actually not going to shoot with them. Oh no, I have to. Orbital bombardment does not actually come into play yet. Both of these are still not revealed. So in that case, I will simply put 2 to the fore, and we will keep everyone else to the back. Not the most impactful first activation, I appreciate that, but it might just be enough to give some concern to our enemies. So let's check the range on this. We've got the tank busters. I think actually shooting the tank busters is well worth it. Let's get the Orc Codex up. What's the core rules, Bob? That's not what you want. Well, I mean, the core rules are useful as well, but Unga Bunga Unga Boo. I'm going to do a great big poo. Let's go tank busters. I'm pretty sure their toughness... Is it spelled with a Z? Yes. Toughness 5, 2 wounds apiece. So we have 5 shots from the Blade Guard veterans with ballistic skill 2. They are not within rapid fire range for obvious reasons. They are hitting on a ballistic skill 5, I should say, so hitting on 2s. That is all hits. Bolt guns don't have any particularly special rules. They are toughness 4 to the Orcs, toughness 5 to the bolt gun's strength 4, so we're looking for 5s to wound. That is 1 wound, which punches through the armor save for a 5 up feel no pain. The tank buster is completely fine. Not the most impactful rule, but hopefully next turn means that the Blade Guard veterans can then call in an orbital strike. Let's move those to the side. I got thrown over there? No. Let's then drag the next dice out, and it is an Orc dice. I think I know what I want to do. It's very silly and very funny. I'm going to do a move through cover for the Maw Crusher, which needs to be a 4 or less. It is. So he moves a whopping 5 inches to there. Now he can't advance and charge, sadly. Oh my god. Wobbly model syndrome. But more importantly, he is now only, ignore that bottom distance, he's at the edge there, he is 9 inches away from that building, and he is going to actively charge the building. Now Orcs have a rule called Here We Go, which means they can re-roll 1 dice when they charge. So we need a second, I'm just loading up the stats on a war boss, which means we can re-roll 1 of these dice. So he's going to charge the building. 6, 7, 8, 9, he's in, he doesn't even need the re-roll. So the war boss slams into this building and is going to charge it. There you go, I will stick him there. My fault for having shit tons of terrain on the map, but this system thrives on terrain. There we go. So he's charged that building. That is his activation. Most importantly, he is when you shoot people in charging terrain, you don't count as in combat, so he can still be shot, which is important. Right, so that is a Deathwatch dice for the second activation. Now the thing that's tricky is the tank crackers on these battle wagons. They scare me. The range on our lance cannon is pretty good. I'm going to quickly check it. Let's quickly slip over here. Back to the Astartes. I believe that's Space Marine Squad. They really are in trouble. Yeah. But my hope. Oh shit! It's at the front of the document, Bob. Give you a game of this Nova if you fancied. Come on, where are you? War Gear with the New Blood. I could have just used my War Gear with the New Bloods. God, I'm dumb. Here we go. Las Cannon, heavy 1, 36-inch range. So that battle wagon. Okay, he can shoot him from where he is. So all the Predator needs to do is get line of sight to that battle wagon, which he can do. But my God, it's going to be a heck of a shot. So the Predator is going to move, turn, also opens up his side armor a little bit, so he's actually going to stay there, but rotate the turret and fire into, that's definitely the side armor of that wagon. However, there is definitely a intervening 5-up cover save in between the two. So let's give it a roll. The Predator comes equipped with a turret-mounted twin-linked las cannon battery, so 2 twin-linked las cannons, which means we have 2 dice. They are hitting on freeze. They have both hit. What twin-linked does is it allows you to reroll your to-hit rolls, but you have to snapshot the second roll, which depends on your initiative. So in this case, being initiative 4, it would be re-rolling onto 5s. But both have hit. The tank, the unending vigil, fires into the side of the battle wagon. Las cannon beams slam, cutting through into its armoured hull. Now, looking at the rules for Orks, if I could find them. Let's look at wagon. I did not pay for an upgrade to its armour, so its side armour is indeed 12, but there are definitely interceding models and terrain, so we're looking at 5-up cover saves. And both fail. That is 2 saves failed from the lance cannon. The wagon... Oh shit, I didn't even roll for armour pen. Okay, well... Oh, not at all, Novo. Not at all. It doesn't take too long to explain. Honestly, the system, once you've got the hang of it, is really simple. It's just a case of knowing your rules. The reason I'm explaining everything in this is specifically I want these to be tutorial games. And what I intend to do is make like animated, like in-universe battle reports. I've got some hammer and bolter style. I've got some vision for it, but this is meant to be like a tutorial. So when it comes to making the saves, the Ork unit failed. But we have a toughness, strength 9 to side armor 12 on the vehicle. It also has Exoshock 6 up, so I'm going to quickly triple check what Exoshock does. If memory serves, Exoshock means that you roll a dice, and when you get a penetrating hit, and on the result you gain an extra bonus. But I'm just going to triple check. Exoshock 6/Z. When a unit with a 20 inflicts a penetrating hit on a vehicle, roll it. Oh, so it has to be a penetrating hit first. So strength 9 versus side armor 12, 10, 11, 12. We're looking for freeze to glance, 5s and 6s to pen. That is 1 glance, which does an automatic hull point, which on a wagon, if PDF would work, means that it's got 4 remaining off the bat. So 4 remaining, and then we have a penetrating hit. Now because we've rolled a penetrating hit and our lance cannon has Exoshock, we roll, and on a 6, he got a 6! That's the first time Exoshock has ever come up. So when it on it suffers Z additional hull points of damage. So that is 3 hull points off the bat done. It's down to 1 remaining, and then we observe the penetrating hit table. Now this is things like weapon destroyed, crew shaken. Now it's an AP2 weapon, las cannon, so that gives us +1 to the result, and he's suffered glancing hits from the same action, which means +2 to the results. So this predator will blow up the battle wagon on a 5 up. And he gets a 5. There is a boom as the battle wagon detonates, which means we roll 2d6. Oh no, we don't. Oh no, we do. Yeah, it does. Orks have their own vehicle damage table. In this case, it goes boom. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have an 8-inch bubble. That's going to hit a lot of people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orc boys from this squad. The blast is always strength 8, AP nothing. So 10 hits, wounding on 2s on the orcs. The orcs then get a 6-up save, followed by a 5-up feel no pain. They fail all their armor saves, and their feel no pain, they nail. 3 orc boys die. Has to be the closest models. Over here, 3, 4 orc boys get hit. Oh, ignore that one, whatever it is. 2 fail to wound, 6-up saves, 5-up feel no pains. 1 dies. And on the ass of the Troggoths, who I believe are strength toughness 6, so still wounding on 2s, how many are in range of the explosion? Oh, that's all of the trolls. It's a unit of 6, I believe, on the trolls. Unit of 5. Oh yeah, orc saving throws are terrible, but there's just so many of them. So 1 doesn't wound. Also, it's worth mentioning the toughness 5, which means bolters won't do diddly, but explosions are powerful. Wounding on, saves are 6-up. Oh my god! And then a 5-up for no pain. The trolls are fine. They just feel like they've got a warm breeze behind them as the battle wagon, boom, goes boom. The Predator tank takes it out. I'm quickly going to check what happens when an emergency disembarkation. When a vehicle is destroyed and the transporting unit inside must resolve an immediate pinning check before disembarking in the usual manner. The vehicle then remains on the battlefield as a terrain piece. I'm not going to bother with that. Oh, it also exploded. And resolved a catastrophic explosion. Then the unit inside is hit by the explosion as if... Oh, that's rough. Oh man, I made these rules like a bitch. Okay, this is rough. So the orc boys inside... Let's make those dice smaller because there's going to be a lot of them. The orc boys inside immediately deploy in the circle. They can get out, they walk out, so they'll get a free movement, but they are all hit by the explosion, which means we have 20 saves to make. There we go. So these are wounding on 2s. Next game I should do, I don't know if Jacob's still watching, but next game, and George, I intend to do Dark Angels versus World Eaters just to fuck with you two. So 1s don't wound, those are the lucky orcs, not many of them. And then 5-up feel no pains. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dead orcs. 10, 11. And then they have to resolve an immediate pinning check. Pinning is a rule that fucks with your movement and your ballistic skill. Orcs have a leadership of nothing. All orc units have something called mob mentality, and what that means is their leadership is equal to the amount of models in the unit. So here they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I can see 8, 9 units. They need to roll 9 or less on the dice. 10, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are not pinned. They are okay. They immediately can get out and move their 6 inches, which they will do. I think I'll have them single file for the sake of sanity. There we go. Rough day to be the orc. That is really good. Zone, melee. Oh, that would have been nice had I done that. Outnumbered 3-1. Still a very, very nice shot from the Predator. The bolters go to waste. So that then brings us to the next activation, which is indeed an Ork activation. Can this guy see the Predator? That's him there. So this Ork vehicle can't do a whole lot. It can't. Thing is, if I activate this Ork vehicle, it can't move through its own models, which is a problem. So I'm actually going to activate this unit of Ork boys, and they are going to move onto this objective. Just check my Ork. Outnumber enemy unit on an objective. Advanced, successfully charged. I've done the charge from the war boss. Shoot, and enemy unit destroyed. Well, I may as well go for it. So these boys are going to advance, which means they roll a dice and add the result to their movement. Now, the result of the advance cannot be lower than the unit's initiative, which is what makes Eldars so fucking scary. Because they're fast as fuck. So the Orks move a minimum of 3, so they have 6 inches base, nice, with a 9-inch move on top. So they're going to get to there. There we go, let's see if we can grab them. Oh, there's a knob coming with them. Drop them! Drop it like it's hard. There we go, that knob can just get back there. So they're going to get up to that line, and they're going to hold that objective. So we have charged, we have advanced, we now need to shoot, and we need to destroy an enemy unit. That's the bit that's going to be tricky. I'm hoping to maybe pop either the Predator or a Dreadnought, if I'm lucky. So that is those Orks activation. You cannot shoot in the same turn that you advanced. That is another Ork activation though. So if I get the... what the fuck? If I get the battle wagon in here, I can see the Predator. Oh, I could maybe see the Castroferrum. Not a great one. I think I'd only be able to see the Castroferrum if I got out here. Which, a 14-inch move. Let's check the stats on a wagon. It's only 8 inches. Yeah, I think we've got to go for the Predator. It's rough, but we go for it. So he's going to move forwards. It's going to be tricky placing the model, but technically the model can go here. So the battle wagon pushes through. Essentially, it's underneath. I don't know how to get it to. Let's work. What do they want? No, nothing. I know what to do. Mini wagon. Mini wagon. And then we just bam. Nope, mini wagon has betrayed us. Look at the little battle wagon. He's such a little cutie. We love the little battle wagon. No, stop it. Oh, I know how to stop that actually. Stop the auto race. Ah, Bobby's a clever boy. Stop it. I said I was clever. Stop making me look bad in front of the cool kids. Oh my god. Thomas the Tank Engine's retarded cousin, I swear to god. Yeah, there's no clip, and it drives me up the wall. Right, the battle wagon is there. I will make it bigger, because it can smash through all of this. I'm not considering the pylons there. Right, so that means the battle wagon can now see the Predator lads. So it has what are called tank crackers. Tank cracker, it has 2 of them, which are 4 shots, zeroing shots, and Tank Hunter 1. Brutal. So Tank Hunter adds to the explodes result. Zeroing shots, I think, is if the battle wagon hadn't moved, zeroing shots would mean that it gets +1 to its ballistic skill. It's fucking Thomas the Tank Engine's evil cousin, I swear. So we've got 4 shots, and we are shooting at the front armor of the Predator. The Predator's front armor is Predator Strike Tank. Is 13. It's going to be rough. If these hit, it's not going to be good for the tank. So we've got 2 shots, and it's got a second gun, so 4 shots. Now it has oh god, I need to check vehicle movement. Hang on. If it moves its full distance, it can't shoot. Ooh. How far did he move? Oh no, these are snapshots. I won't go back because I fucked up. But basically, if a vehicle moves its full movement, it can only snap fire. If a vehicle moves half its movement, it fires normally. In this instance, I fucked up and moved it and fired snapshots to get the line of sight, or fired at the line of sight, which means he is snap shooting, which means because he's an orc, only hitting on 6s. 1 hit, that is rough. To be fair, only hit on 5 anyway. And it doesn't armor pen on a 1. The Emperor protects, the battle wagon fires, 2 shells smash into the ground in front of the Predator, who surely in his turn will be turning to fire into that battle wagon. That is the battle wagon's turn. That is rough. That is rough. But the Orks will get once the Orks cross the board, it's going to be painful. Alright, that is a Deathwatch kill team turn. Let's have a look at what the... Yeah, you see here, the Phobos chaps, they can shoot the Maw Crusher. What were my objectives? Outnumbered. No enemies. Okay, so it doesn't matter here if I kill the Warlord, but it would be nice to finish that Warlord off. And I really want to stop him from killing the terrain, because that would free him up in his next turn to line up a charge. That was the idea. It's either try and take the Orks off this objective or kill the war boss. The Deathwatch don't need to move to shoot. Yeah, we're going to go for the Orks. The war boss is scary, but we will just have to survive, deal with him when he arrives. So let's have a look at the stats on a Nemesis bolt gun. I see that I have spelt it wrong twice in my document. 1 shot each, so that will be 6 shots. They are all hitting on 2s due to ballistic skill 5. My Warlord trait means that I am able to choose who I hit, so the first person to die to these shots will be the Orc Knob, who should be there somewhere, but I can't see. Oh, I think he might actually already be dead. Oh no, he's up here. They should have come down. Now, yet another movement. Stop it. Yet another reason that that guy shouldn't have been there, because they would have had to have advanced down here. So, it's worth mentioning in Blackthrone, you always remove models from the front of the front of the enemy. So I'm going to put the Knob there because he will be the front. Is that the paired Death Squad? No, the paired one are these guys up here who are deliberately staying back near Astartes, Acastian, Voss. This is Kill Team Alpha. Yeah, Kill Team Alpha. These are the guys who, if the longer they hold this objective, they gain buffs. These two are going to fire into these bots. So first these guys. Let's fire in. I have Sniper, which means I can pick and choose my targets. So I'm actually going to be quite crafty here. My Warlord is going to fire. He hits. He doesn't wound. No, he doesn't wound because they're rerolling 1s against HQs, not troops. That sucks, but it is what it is. So the Warlord fails to hit the Knob. These, I have decided, are going to go onto... I was going to say the big shooters, but there's no big shooters, so just into the squad in general. Hitting on 2s, all hit. Wounding on 2s. Oh, sorry, not 2s. Wounding on 4s due to toughness 5 to strength 5, so they've all wounded. They're 5-ups, which means they're AP 2, cutting through the armour of the Orcs that was doing that anyway. So it is just 5-up, feel no pains. And the Orcs only lose 1. 2 6-up saves. That is the Knob though, due to precision shots. Due to having lost a model from a shooting attack, those Orc boys now need to resolve a pinning check. With a leadership of 19, they can't possibly fail. They are not pinned. That is the Warlord's unit. Sniping out the Knob is decent, but also not as great as I was hoping for. Let's bring out another Orc dice. It's the Orc's turn again. What are you doing up there? Get back in the fight. You're in the wrong squad. You should be over there. Lol. Tank has charged, but the Dreadnoughts are still scary. I think the Rock Guts are going to move. The Rock Guts are going to advance. and they're advancing an additional 5, so they're moving 11 inches. Actually, can I just toggle measure movement? There we go. So 11 inch for that rock gut. Rock guts do have a ranged attack. They have hurling rocks, which basically they throw bricks at people. Your average night out in the UK. But that is not what they're doing today. They are apparently kidnapping a small orc boy. I should also note that actually in the squad of rock guts, they should have, damn, I haven't got anything to represent them, but they should have a Gretchen, and if the Gretchen dies, the rock guts lose some buffs. Alright, so that is the rock guts turn. Next in initiative is the orcs again. What are the orcs going to do? They've advanced, they've moved. These orcs, I'm going to check the range on shooters. Oh, it's right there, Bob. Nice one, dickhead. So shooter, 24 inch range, big shooter, 36. Oh, that's not good. Yep, so we're going to have all the big shooters from this squad fire into the Blade Guard veterans. Big shooters are scary. They have 6 shots each, and there is 4 of them in that squad. Just check if they've got line of sight. I believe they do. He's down here. Yeah, he can see them. They can see across. So this is just the 4 big shooters. The rest aren't in range. They are hitting on 5s because orc shooting is shocking. They're hitting on 5s. Let's take out any of these. Now, Novo, are you excited to see something very cool? Are you ready? Are you ready? This is the big rule that orcs get. This is what makes them spicy. I'm going to have a sip of beer before doing this. So, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits here. 8 actually. 8 hits. All of these were 5-ups. Now, every orc gun, for the most part, has a rule called Dakka. And Dakka is an infinite chain. So, shooters have Dakka 6-up, but big shooters have Dakka 5-up. So I take all of these hits, I put them to one side, and I now roll another 8 hits. These have to now roll to hit. We get 1, 2 more, so that joins the pile. And unlike Shred, which gives extra hits on things like chain weapons, these are infinite. So we now get 2 more hits, which both fail. So not the best excuse for Dakka. But when we call a War, which I'll probably call next turn, you instantly, every model in the Orc army gains Dakka 5-up on their weapons. If they already had Dakka, they gain Dakka +1. And that includes in melee. So these are the hits. We are strength 5 to toughness 4, so we are wounding on 3s. That is a good wound roll on the 2-up Blade Guard veteran saves. Failed 2 of them, which is a dead Blade Guard veteran. We will need to be within 3 of the objective. He would have had to have moved to stay in coherency. So it has to be the closest model, so it will be that guy. Sadly gets gunned down by the orcs. Yeah, so it goes on Infinity Nova. So when I play tested this a few months ago, I rolled 10 orc boys in a war on the charge with choppers, 2 attacks each, so 20 attacks on the charge for 30 attacks, plus 2 close combat weapons, 40 attacks on the charge, with Dakka 5-up. They were hitting on 5s. From 40 attacks, I hit a total of 114 times. That was the best rolling I've ever had. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. It's an infinite chain, so it's the Orc unique special rule. Lots of weapons in the game, like rotor cannons and chain swords, get Shred, which is the same thing, but it doesn't escalate. So Shred 5-up gives you 2 hits for every 1. But Dakka is infinite. So you can have in the last game I played, I had a mob of 30 orc boys with shooters, and they just spray and pray to win. Oh, it was 50 Gretchen. 50 Gretchen with shooters gunned down a Grey Knight Saturnine Terminator squad just from overwhelming firepower. So that is one model, but as you can see, the saving throws, 2 ups from the Blade Guards, extremely potent. That is that Orc's turn, which brings us to the next Orc turn. These Orc boys... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They actually can't hurt the Dreadnoughts. So they are also going to shoot into the Blade Guard veterans. They're a little more sporadic, so I might not get so many shots out of them. Got 1 in range. You're in range. That is at least 3. Where's the 4th? Where's the 4th shooter? Big shooter. Didn't know with the trolls, is he? No. Big shooter. At the back there, so 4 can shoot again. Anti-wobby, literally the anti-wobby. It's a really fun rule, because it means that Orcs on paper are fucking terrible, but my god, they, oh, that's 6 dice too many. My god, can they throw out some dice. There's lots of rules in Blackthrone. It is a game of learn your army, but when you do, you'll find it very, very satisfying. So let's delete anything that isn't a 5-up. So those all hit. Those all explode into another round of hits, which we got 3 more. Oh no, that's a 4. So not as good this time. We only got 2 more, which then explode. And we got 1 more. Oh, I don't know why I deleted that. Which then explodes and doesn't go through. So, wounding on freeze. Toughness 5, strength 4, toughness 5 to strength 4. 2 up armor saves. They are good. So despite the hail of bullets, the Blade Guard vets are able to tank all of it. Onto the next activation. It's a Deathwatch activation. Who has yet to go? They've gone. The Dreadnoughts are still to go. This squad is still to go. This squad I'm going to be quite cheeky with. I'm going to move Kill Team Alpha forwards with everyone except this guy, because his gun is... Actually, is it heavy? Let me double check, actually. Because if it's not heavy, I'll move and shoot him. What is that? That is the Great War. No wonder the Deathwatch aren't showing up. Or as I spelt it, Deathwatch. Do. Yes, it must include a Watchmaster. That's all good. Deathwatch Company Veteran. Give me a moment. Deathwatch Kill Team. Why am I looking at Deathwatch Kill Team? Oh, because I'm dumb and that's what I was wanting to do. Frag Cannon is Rapid Fire 2. Ooh. Is Rapid Fire 2, so he actually can move and shoot that frag cannon, fire it from the hip. Let's just grab them all so I can measure their movement a little easier. I wish this was done automatically. So 7-inch move. Because I don't want to be too close to the Orcs, I won't lie. A little nerve-wracking. Playing it a little loose with the movement. So they are now all in range. They are specifically 12 inches away, which means the frag cannon is in rapid fire range. Yes. And then we have bolt guns with special issue ammunition. We are going to use the... Fuck it, let's use Metal Storm frag rounds. They're lower strength, which means they'll be wounding on 6s, but they'll re-roll, which will be fun. And they're assault 2, and they're blast. So I need to remember how big a small blast marker is. I believe it's 3 inches. 3 inches in diameter. Cool. I can use an objective for that. Unless there's just a circle. No. Square. Really? You do squares, but you don't do circles. Useless. Alright, so, need something 3 inches in diameter. Let's do this with a pen. This is why I decided to live stream this. Why do you anger? Right, there we go. Make that the right size. That's about right. Cool. So this is just the. Let's do just the special issue ammo first. Let's place it all on there, I'd say. Where am I going to get the biggest clump? Has to be the closest anyway. Huh. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits per success. 5 hits per scatter, I should say. So let's get in the scatter dice. Don't know how much 40k you play, but the scatter dice is an... Oh, what the fuck, spawning objects, piss off. The scatter dice is an old friend of mine, and I refuse to let it die. So we have first one, direct hit. So let's keep a track for me, Novo. 5 hits. Second one goes that way, -5 direct hit, so that goes to 10 hits because you reduce the ballistic skill from the scatter. Direct hit, that is 15 hits. Direct hit, that is 20 hits. This kill team are fucking incredible, my god. That's only 2 of them, 2 more to go. That way, direct hit. Another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That way, 6. So 1 inch that way, I'll say it misses 1, so 4. And then we've got 2 more from the last dude. 4, 5, 2 inches that way, I'll say it misses 2, so 3. And direct hit, another 5. That is a crazy good round of shooting. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34, 35, 6, 7. 6, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3. So that is 37 hits. We are wounding on 6s because strength 3 to toughness 5 means we're wounding on 6s. So also responding to messages at the same time. Where is it? Okay, but most importantly, they have Fleshbane, which means they re-roll against organic enemies. So we're picking out any 6s. Eesh. Not much in the way of 6s. 1. That is, from such a great hit roll, that is painful. There's 2 more there. Oof. The second roll made it a bit stronger, but yikes, that is a rough roll. I do re-roll to hit rolls of... Okay, I reroll wounds anyway, but reroll wounds rolls of a 1 against troops because of their Deathwatch rule. But they've already rerolled. His name was mentioned in the rolls answered. Yeah, you're not wrong. So everywhere he goes, I see his face. So these are wounded. It is AP nothing, so we get our 6 up t-shirt save, which they all fail, and then 5 up feel no pain, which 3 pass. So that's 5 dead Orks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most importantly, however, they have a little rule called Toxin. Now, Toxin is a trait that is one of my favourite little rules because it exists on a lot of my Nurgle models. And what Toxin does, how many did I kill? 5. Is for every model killed, you add a stacking counter. And at the start of every game turn, actually I'm going to read it properly to make sure I get the rules right. It's also not toxin, it's toxic. Huh? Oh, I'm still looking at Space Marines. LOL. Toxin. Weapons with toxin inflict cumulative corruption. Each time a unit suffers an unsaved wound from toxin, place X tokens next to that unit. At the start of the controlling player's turn, that's incorrect, I need to fix that. It should say game turn. Place extra toxin tokens. You're resolved to strength 1, AP 1, poisoned free up wound rolls as normal. So basically that unit is now going to take cumulative damage over time. Which could be quite good. Then, the big one is Kill Team Alpha will unload. The Imperial Fist will unleash the frag cannon into them. The frag cannon is rapid fire 2, which means it has 4 shots at this range. He's going for the closest, which has actually buffed him a little bit. It means he's hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them for every direct hit. Let's grab those. That is a direct hit, so that's 5. Yeah, Toxin's one of my favourite little effects. Death Guard can buy the Toxin trait for 1 point on any weapon, so you can have a squad of 20 tactical marines with Toxin bolters, and then the whole thing is just endure the game, tank everything, and just whittle your enemy down. My Descent, my Nurgle/Kulu Mythos aligned Iron Warriors, they get lots of the Toxin stuff as well, which is pretty cool. So second shot is for 6 inches that way. That is going to be a complete miss. Yikes, that's rough. Third shot is a direct hit, so another 5. I don't know which was which. Another direct hit, so that's 15 hits from the frag cannon. The frag cannon has strength 4, AP 6, and is pinning as well. So these are wounding on 5s. Why am I doing that? There's 15 dice I need to roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. There you go, Bob. Basic maths. I do teach, you know. So 6s to wound. Oh no, wait. 6s. No, 5s to wound. Strength 4, toughness 5, 5s to wound. Ding, 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 ding. So 4 wounds, AP 6, so it cuts through the t-shirt save, just 5 up, feel no pains, all of which have failed, so 4 more orcs kick the bucket. There we go, but they still hold that objective, really annoying. At the end of that turn though, they have taken shots from the pinning weapon. It is pinning 1. I've just remembered I reroll wound rolls of a 1. Which would have meant I reroll that one. Didn't wound anyway. So they now need to make a pinning check. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They can't possibly fail it unless they roll double 6s. Oh, that's got to go in the cinematic. Alright, so the Orks, despite their stats, the Orks are pinned. I will make, I need like a little counter or something. Let's go, which basically means they subtract 1 from their movement and their ballistic skill. Because it's only pinning 1, it's not crazy. Let's stick that next to them, so we know they're pinned. Pinned 1. There we go. Alright, that is that kill team's go, god damn it. Which brings us to another Deathwatch turn. They've acted. These guys I've been holding back on. I score at the end of the game turn. The problem is, if he destroys the building and they're in it when it's destroyed, that's so painful. But if they can hold the objective, they'll score massively, so we go for it, boys. We, in the words of Wobby, we win these. It's an 8-inch move, which means they don't need to advance to get in range. Because it's 7-inch to get in range, so he can get there, he can get up there, and the rest can just file in underneath. I will declare them shooting into the war boss, because I think I'm going to have to. It's going to be extremely painful. We are going to use the Scorpius bolt rounds for this, on all of them. I'm not going to use the frag cannon, we're just going to use the bolt rounds. So these are heavy 1, which means they're snap shooting, because I moved. So they're hitting on 5s, which has 2 hits. They are, however, strength 7, AP 3, but unfortunately the war boss is mounted on a Maw Crusher, making him toughness 8. So 5s to wound, rerolling 1s, and they fail to punch into the Maw Crusher. So that is a very vulnerable unit, but they are now holding that objective. We draw an Orc dice. We will move the knobs up. I think the knobs will also advance, minimum of 3 inches, and they're going 3, so 9-inch total. They basically get up behind their war boss. The war boss, normally you'd attach him to the unit in the hope that they would protect him, but because he's on a Maw Crusher, he has the monstrous trait, which means he can't join regular schmucks. There we go, that's their unit. They have no weaponry, they are all armed with buzzsaws. That is a Deathwatch activation. Who is still to go? Acted out. It's just the Dreadnoughts. I was hoping to pull back on the Dreads. Dreadnoughts are not going to move too much. They're just going to shift like this, 7-inch movement, and I think they fire into the Trogoths. Or do we take out the Tank Busters? Didn't check the range on that plasma cannon. The Trogoths are scary if they get in melee is the problem, but the Dreadnoughts hit first, is my thinking. Plasma cannon, here we go. 24-inch range. Ooh. The Tank Busters, I'd need to... Okay, maybe I could get to there without needing to make a movement and they can get in. So yeah, we're going to go for the Tank Busters. No, the Trogoths are the bigger threat. We'll stay back. Oh, this is risky. Both are dangerous. So both Dreadnoughts, Castor and Gaius, will fire into the Trogoths. We will start off with the Plasma Cannon, which is Strength 6, AP 3, Blast 3 inches. So we'll get that one back that we used before. Single shot. If it hits, it will hit all 4. Dreadnought is Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill 4. It's a direct hit, so that's 4 hits. Strength Toughness 6 to Strength 6 to Toughness 6. So 4s to wound. That is 2 wounds. Cuts through the armor saves automatically. 5 up for no pain. Both failed. I need to check the wounds on a rock gut, but I'm pretty sure they have more wounds than that. They have 3 wounds apiece. That is a single... Was it 2? 2. That is a 1 wound remaining on one of the rock guts. We will try and finish him off with the Storm Bolter from Brother Gaius. I think it was Gaius with the Plasma Cannon. 1 hit, wounding on a 5, or 6 actually, doesn't wound. So, into Brother Castor with the Assault Cannon. Let's get their stats up. Tanky trolls. Bolt weaponry, las weaponry, web weaponry, Volkite plasma, rotor weaponry, missile weaponry. Where have I put it? Here we go. Assault cannon under kinetic weaponry. 4 shots. Hitting on 3s with twin links, so re-rolling onto 5s. And all hit. Strength 6, so 4s to wound. These are not troops, so not re-rolling the wound rolls. It is two-handed, but that doesn't matter. That is 3 wounds at Sunder 1, which means the rock gut can't take its armor save, so it's just that 5 up, feel no pain. Oh, which it passes 2 of. So 1 rock gut dies. Doesn't take 25% casualty, so they do not need to make a morale check. We'll do the Storm Bolter. 1 hit. 1 wound. Fails. So the next rock gut is on 2 wounds. Oof, not as powerful as I had hoped, but turn 2 might be better. Into... Okay, Deathwatch are fully activated now, so these are just wasted activations. And Ork. It's Orks and Deathwatch, so there should be 1 more Ork unit to activate. Those Ork boys don't because they just deployed. They're good. It's the Tank Busters. The Tank Busters will also advance 6 inches. So they are moving 12 inches. next turn is looking very, very scary for the Deathwatch. Hello, shooter. You are in the wrong place, my friend. There we go. And that is the end of turn 1. At the end of turn 1, our edicts become active, so they can be played in the next turn. Victory points. The Orcs control 1 victory point here with a unit of Orc boys, who I believe have line 1. I believe they have line 1. I will double check. Annoyingly trying to get through my units here. Orc boys mob, they have line 1. So they get 2 victory points for holding that one. And 2 victory points for still holding that one. I need a d20. Get it back here. So 4 victory points total. Oh, I haven't finished the turn. Combat. There is a single combat here from the mega boss attacking the building. That is important. Right, so war boss, let's not forget that. War boss, right, so a war boss has 4 attacks base. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has... He has 1 attack for charging, 1 attack for close combat weapons. Because he's mounted on a Maw Crusher, he has Hammer of Wrath. That Hammer of Wrath is 3 attacks off the bat. So those 3 hit at the unmodified strength of an Orc war boss, which is 6. This terrain piece is going to have armor values. So let's get that sorted. Let's go vital terrain. Can an Orc war boss kill a building? Is the question. You never know. Just quickly whipping through my rulebook trying to find the terrain piece. Here we go. This would definitely be considered a heavy ruin or building, so it has an armor value of 12 and 4 hit points. It is automatically hit on 2s. Well, first things first, the Hammer of Wraths on 6s will do glancing hits. No, so the Hammer of Wraths just running into it doesn't do anything. The Orc war boss hits on 2s. He somehow misses 3 times. How? He missed a building 3 times. Oh, Christ. Hits 3 times. Strength 6 with a Power Claw. With Furious Charge 1 goes up to Strength 7 plus 4 for Strength 11. So 2s to glance, anything else pens. Oh my good god. So 2 pens. We roll to see what those pens do. We have a wow. So units within suffer Shattered Masonry and Fallen Rubble. So we have 5 units inside, so it is 5 hits at strength 4, wounding on 4s. Oh my god, it just was not meant to be. And then 5 units at strength 5, those all wounded, and 2 up armor saves. They're good. So despite the war boss's best efforts, he is unable to bring this building down. It's only on 2 hit points remaining though, so I'll grab another d6. Let's just grab a red one for it. And it has 2 hit points remaining in that building. Oh no, the war boss. But that does mean that at the end of that turn, the Orcs score 4 victory points for holding this objective and this objective. Honestly, he saw 2 buildings. Does he outnumber anyone on an objective? He does not. Because he's not even competing for it. Did we advance? Yes. Did we successfully charge? Yes. Did we resolve a shooting attack? Yes. Did we destroy an enemy unit? No, so we don't get tactical synergy. Do we get hold the line? Yes, so that is an additional 4 victory points to the Orcs from hold the line to a starting victory points of 8. We then instantly replace that Vendetta, which will be Da Bigger They Are. Destroy an enemy vehicle or monstrous unit. That could be good. We then go over to the Space Marines, who currently hold 1 objective, 2 objectives, and I believe they hold a 3rd. Where's the 3rd? I could have sworn they had a 3rd. Am I going crazy? Oh yeah, they're on it. So they currently hold 3 objectives with line 2, line 2, line 1. So that is 2, 4, 5. Oh, that is 5 for the Space Marines. And then secondary objectives. Did they win a combat while outnumbered? No. Did they destroy an enemy unit that they're charged and shot? No. But do they have to stop people getting their deployment zone? Yes. So that is a 4 more victory points there for the Space Marines. So we draw another one of those. And they have got Unyielding Vigilance. At the end of the game turn, complete the turn if you control the same game marker for 2 game turns. That should be an easy score over here. So that would be another 4. So that brings Space Marines 9 to 8 on our victory points at the end of turn 1. So into turn 2. I know dinner is soon, but I will just get this set up. So into turn 2, all of our Edict cards now activate. So Zogda has been activated. The Ork would draw and see Psychological Conditioning. So this is one of the Know Thy Enemy cards. So this is a card directly designed to counter Space Marines. When Space Marine has to roll a leadership check, it may basically when a Space Marine wants to do something, it may only target the nearest enemy unit rather than the player's choice. So we'll put that face down because that's actually quite useful. We're not maybe going to do that, maybe not. Over to the Space Marines. They have activated Auto Bombardment and Let Them Come. And they have drawn 2 cards due to the expertise of 2. And they have drawn... Oh! Someone needs shuffling. They have drawn 2 of the Ork Know Thy Enemy cards. Hey, Liam! So the 2 Ork Know Thy Enemy cards are Too Many Bossing, which is enemy Ork units within 6 inches of an independent character suffer -1 leadership and cannot benefit from mob mentality, which is huge. And Daka Jam, which is select 1 Ork unit at the end of the activation phase. All ranged units wielded by that unit gain the Daka, lose the Daka X special rule. Now, the question is, at the beginning of turn 2, do the Orks declare a war? And I honestly don't think they do. I think turn 3 is where the war is going to want to kick in. That is where the war is going to want to be. So, that is the beginning of turn 2. We now assess the board. How many units are on there? We have the Knobs, we have the Megaboss, we have the Boys, Battle Wagon, Ork Boys. I've lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Ork units are on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have Zogda has come into play because we are now at the start of the activation phase. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Is it worth only getting 1 extra activation dice and losing Psychological Conditioning? Probably not. I'm going to keep it, which means Zogdat will be discarded. So the 9 Ork activation dice go in the bucket, into the, as my wife would call it, fuck it bucket. We then have Kill Team Bravo, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 activation dice for the Space Marines. However, we have 2 units in Primaris armor, so Phobos and Tacticus, which means we gain 2 extra dice into the fuck it bucket. We then give that a shuffle, and we draw a Deathwatch dice first. The Deathwatch have the first, and hopefully a little bit of our Christian. Don't forget the background tones here, Liam. Our Christian piano music, brought to you specifically by Psalm 139, 13-14. For you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb, and I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvellous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. Hello and welcome to Christian Tales RPG. It is a Deathwatch turn, and even though there are so many threats on the board, I am going to activate the Blade Guard veterans, who are going to bring in, reveal the Edict Orbital Bombardment. And they are going to bring in an Orbital Strike. 3 large blast markers are being brought in, and I'm going to bring all 3 in on the Ork unit on this objective to try and force them off. So it's a 5-inch blast that I now need to measure. So this was a 3-inch, so an extra 2 inches there. Exactly. Any I did form the inward parts of your pants, Liam, it's true. Christian quotes go very hard for 40k, genuinely. So that is about right for a large blast marker. And, oh, shall we put it in the middle? They can see them, they're in range. It would help clear that middle zone out. Oh, but they can just get out the battle wagon, can't they? Yeah, that's... Ooh, I need to check. First things first, I have forgotten the toxin trait here. So on those Ork boys, from the poison mechanic, that is 5 wounds on freeze. All wound! 6 up t-shirt saves. Okay, too fast. Shame. 5 up feel no pains. Which fails, so 3 orcs die to the toxin trait, which reduces the counter by 3 down to 2, and then that stacks. And then of course they get shot, that stacks back up. So all of these are going on the Ork boys. On a direct hit, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits per direct hit. As per orbital bombardment, full distance scatter. So that's what's going to be quite rough here, is the chance that we might just fuck off. But you never know. Deathwatch calling in orbital assets. Full scatter, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches that way. Looks like we might actually go into... Okay, that's still going to hit the unit. It's going to go here. So that's about 4 hits, I'd say. So it's 9 on a direct, 4 on a... Let's go 4 there. Second one. Is it 3 or D3? It's D3 large blasts, I should check anyway. So it's just the one. So that's a direct hit. So that is going to be 9 plus 4 for 13 hits. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Which then... Blackthrone is called a choir, yeah, choir. Which then a wounding on freeze due to strength 6 to toughness 5. That is not the best roll the Emperor has ever seen. 6 up t-shirt save, 5 up feel no pain. 3 go through, so sadly that is still better than the bolters, but from the centre, 1, 2, 3 Ork boys who'd have to join coherency, die to the orbital strike, which is then discarded. We then come to the second activation, which is the Orks, in which case we are going to have the Mega Boss move through cover on a 4 or less. No, so his movement is halved down to 2, which is enough to get him in the building. He is then going to declare a charge into the squad. Now the squad could overwatch him, and we could reveal let them come, but it's not really worth it. So they're just going to let the charge happen. They're still going to overwatch, but they only hit on 6s. So 5 shots hitting on 6s, 2 hits, wounding on 5s, which wound, which need 5 up feel no pains to make, 2 wounds on the Ork war boss. That's legitimately quite a good roll. That's 4 wounds remaining. Like, genuinely surprised by that. 4 wounds remaining on the war boss as the Deathwatch team gun him down as he charges in. But he is here to cramp. So that is the Ork war boss's activation. Orks activate again, and I think it's only right the battle wagon is going to activate the predator lads. I should also going to place that back in because the boys inside need an activation done. So the tank cracker has 4 shots hitting on 5s. Okay, 1 hit. Strength 10, front armor 13, freeze to glance, 5s to pen. That is a penetrating hit. There is an interceding 5-up cover save. The Chaos of Warhammer covered by Christian Sims music. That is a 5-up cover save. So once again, the unyielding vigil. Explosions detonating around it, but this time the structure takes the hit. Unyielding vigil is still on the warpath, unhurt by the battle wagon. Which brings us to the next Orc activation. We are going to bring out the next unit of Orc boys. Actually no, we're going to move these Orc boys forward. They are pinned, so they're only moving 6 inches. 5 inches I should say, because they're pinned 1. Come on everybody. So they get to there. Now charging would be a right piss take. It's an 8-inch charge. Eesh. Fuck it, they will shoot their pistols and attempt to charge. So 1, 2, 3. Let me just get the stats up for a slugger. Wait, can I hear Katie eating? Is dinner ready? I will resolve the shooting and the charge. I didn't realise my dinner was ready. My wonderful wife had cooked me dinner and I had no idea. Right, so we have 2 shots each, hitting on 5s. Sorry, hitting, well they are hitting on 5s. Oh no, hitting on 6s, they're pinned. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, so 20 shots. 5. 2 more, and then this twice. No Daka on a slugger. So sluggers shoot. Daka. Hitting on 6s, that's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, because strength 5. That's 3 wounds, 3 2-up armor saves, and the Deathwatch kill team is fine. Charging in, they need an 8-inch charge. Now here's what I'm going to do, because this is an interesting thing. Overwatch is going to be happening. It's an 8-inch charge. They've 6, 7, 8. They are just in. However, they need to make a move through cover roll because they have to get up into the terrain. They've got to climb up this ladder. So they need to roll equal to or under a 3 on the dice. If not, their charge roll has become halved. And they're good. The Orcs are in. However, it was 8 inches from him. If a single Orc boy dies, the charge is going to be failed. On account of the fact that, you know, you have to take from the front. So if they move... See, I'm saving the Overwatch, but I actually think I'm going to now declare Let Them Come. And Overwatch at full ballistic skill. Which I think would be the way to go here. And we are going to Overwatch with... Oh, do I do the strength 7 ones again? Let's have a think. They have the special issue ammo, is what I'm thinking. Psionic Slaughter rounds aren't bad, that would be a lot of shots. The blasts would be decent, but you scatter full on blasts, which makes it very tricky. I'm thinking of a White Christmas. Shell Shock 2 would be nice for the rapid fire. No, let's go for the wounds with full ballistic skill, so 5 shots, hitting on 2s. They are troops, so rerolling. Nope, that's wounds. 7 to toughness 5, so all wound. Rerolling 1s due to Führer, still failed. Not the Führer, I should stress. The Führer doctrine, which means rerolling 1s against troop choices. So 3 wounds on 5-up armor saves, or cover save. In Feel No Pain, I said every armor save. That is 1, 2, 3 Orc boys die. And they can no longer make that charge, which means they surge half their charge distance 4 inches forwards, but they do not get in range, and they are now off that objective. Somebody called Volkswagen. They did, it's this one here. Next activation goes to the Deathwatch, so I'll put that back in because I would like to go and have dinner with my darling wife. So this has been part 1, turn 1 of the Deathwatch versus Orks game. I'm going to pick this up at every opportunity I can and just keep streaming it, and eventually I'm going to make a full cinematic out of the game. So far, the score as it lies is 8 victory points to the Orks, 9 to the Deathwatch, but the Orks are closing that gap, and the more they do so, the more difficult it will be for the Deathwatch to respond. And let's not forget, there is an Ork war boss on Maw Crusher ready to absolutely wreck face. Novo, please never stop asking the questions. I really appreciate it. It helps massively. I've got a really nice little notepad of stuff to keep a track of, which is really handy. So, as always, thank you all so much for watching. I might be back on this evening. It completely depends on what Katie wants to do, because I want to do whatever she wants to do. But thank you all so much for watching. We've been Tattletales RPD, where the table in this case has been virtual, and we'll see you next time.